Hey everyone, I'm so excited you're here. Today, we're diving into 10 of the most underrated games of all time. In a dark and haunting vision of Victorian London, let's start with The Order, 1886, a world where honor meets horror. You play as a knight bound by duty, facing ancient beasts in the shadows of a steampunk empire. Every frame feels alive. The flicker of light, the echo of footsteps, the weight of every decision. It's visually breathtaking, emotionally gripping, and crafted with unbelievable detail. Yet, despite its brilliance, the game was buried by its own ambition, called too short, too cinematic, too different. But time has revealed the truth. The Order 1886 wasn't a failure, it was a misunderstood masterpiece. Next, we enter a world where fear feels real. The Evil Within 2. You play as Sebastian Castellanos, a broken man stepping back into a nightmare to save his daughter. This game blends survival horror with open-world exploration, letting you choose how to face the darkness. Every street hides a story. Every shadow feels alive, and every encounter keeps your heart racing. It's emotional, terrifying, and deeply human. I personally loved every moment of it. Yet, despite its incredible storytelling, cinematic visuals, and perfect pacing, it never got the recognition it deserved. Many dismissed it as just another horror sequel, but those who experienced it know the truth. The Evil Within 2 is a masterpiece that fear forgot. Now let's head to the neon-lit streets of Hong Kong with Sleeping Dogs, an open-world crime story that deserves far more love than it ever got. You play as Wei Shen, an undercover cop torn between loyalty and survival, walking the thin line between justice and corruption. The hand-to-hand combat feels raw and powerful. The driving is smooth, and the city itself feels alive, buzzing with energy, culture, and danger. Every mission pulls you deeper into Wei's double life, making it one of the most grounded and emotional open-world experiences ever made. I personally think it rivals even GTA in story and immersion, yet somehow it slipped under the radar, a true gem that time forgot. Sleeping Dogs isn't just a game. It's an underrated masterpiece hiding in plain sight. Next, we ride into the wasteland with Mad Max, a brutal, dusty, and haunting open-world masterpiece that too many players overlooked. You play as Max, a lone survivor drifting through a world of rust and ruin, where every drop of fuel and water is worth fighting for. The combat feels raw and heavy. The car battles are explosive, and the desert itself feels alive, whispering stories of chaos and survival. I personally loved how every silence carried weight, how every storm felt like the world itself was angry. Yet, despite its incredible world building and immersive atmosphere, Mad Max never got the recognition it deserved. Released beside bigger games, it was lost in the noise. But make no mistake, this isn't just another action game. Mad Max is a gritty, emotional, and underrated 10 out of 10 experience that still holds strong today. Now we step into a world painted with light and spirit. Okami HD, a breathtaking masterpiece that feels more like art than a video game. You play as Amaterasu, the Japanese sun goddess reborn as a white wolf, on a journey to restore color and life to a world consumed by darkness. Every frame looks like a living painting, every melody touches the heart, and every moment feels timeless. The gameplay blends action, puzzles, and beauty in a way few games ever achieve. I personally think it's one of the most artistic and emotional adventures ever created. Yet despite its perfection, Okami never reached the audience it deserved. It was released ahead of its time, a game so beautiful, so pure, that the world simply wasn't ready for it. Okami HD remains a true, underrated 10 out of 10 masterpiece. Stepping into the shadows, we find Dishonored 2, a game that redefined stealth and freedom, but never got the praise it truly earned. You play as either Corvo or Emily, each with their own powers, stories, and choices that shape the fate of a crumbling empire. The world feels alive, every street, every whisper, every piece of architecture telling its own dark secret. The level design is pure genius, from the shifting rooms of the Clockwork Mansion to the haunting echoes of the Dust District. I always loved how every mission felt personal, how the game rewarded creativity over violence. Yet, despite its brilliance, Dishonored 2 slipped under the radar, overshadowed by louder titles. But for those who've played it, they know it's not just a stealth game, it's art in motion, a truly underrated masterpiece that deserves to be remembered. Next up is Prey, a sci-fi masterpiece that far too many players missed. You wake up aboard the Talos I space station, where something has gone terribly wrong. The halls are silent, the lights flicker, and shape-shifting aliens lurk in every corner. Every object could be a threat, every sound could be in danger. It's intense, clever, and deeply atmospheric. What makes Prey special is how it rewards creativity, letting you solve problems your own way, whether through stealth, hacking, or raw firepower. I personally think it's one of the smartest games ever made. Yet, despite its brilliance, it was overshadowed by bigger titles at launch. But those who truly played it know, Prey isn't just a game. It's one of the most underrated sci-fi experiences of all time. Next up is Days Gone, a post-apocalyptic world where survival meets heartbreak. You play as Deacon St. John, a drifter riding through the ruins of humanity, haunted by loss and love. The open world feels raw and alive, with hordes of freakers, shifting weather, and moments that hit deep. Despite its depth and emotion, many dismissed it at launch. But over time, players saw the truth. Days Gone isn't just a zombie game. It's a story about endurance, loyalty, and what it means to never give up. Then we have Assassin's Creed Unity, a game that dared to recreate the heart of Paris during the French Revolution with stunning realism. You play as Arnaud, a man torn between love and redemption, navigating chaos and betrayal. At launch, it was buried under bugs and backlash, but beneath that mess was something beautiful. Breathtaking detail, incredible parkour, and one of the best stories in the series. Over time, players returned and realized the truth. Unity wasn't broken, it was ahead of its time. And lastly, we have A Plague Tale: Innocence, which is a haunting journey through a world consumed by plague and fear. You play as Amicia, guiding her little brother Hugo through the darkness, hunted by soldiers and swarms of rats. Every moment feels desperate, fragile, and human. The bond between them carries the story, turning survival into something deeply emotional. Though often overlooked, A Plague Tale: Innocence stands as one of the most heart-held and beautifully written games of its generation.